Greetings, water ski fans, and welcome to the 2017 edition of the San Gervasio Pro-Am Slalom Championship. Set in the heart of Italy's agricultural heartland between the historic cities of Milan and Venice, this tournament attracts the very best that tournament water ski slalom has to offer. Each of them are fighting for one of the best prize payouts of the season, but first they will have to ski several rounds of head-to-head action, which is similar to golf's match play format, before they reach the big money final round. We join the action for the women's competition in the semi-final round. The first pairing features a USA versus Russia battle. Regina Jaquist against the surprise package of the tournament so far, Alyssa Shevchenova. The second pairing is an all-French affair between the defending champion Manon Costard and the experienced veteran Clémentine Lucine. First up, Alyssa Shevchenova from the Russian Federation, who shocked many by defeating Gina Kruger in the quarterfinals, and is now looking to post up a score that would at least force her opponent to work in order to advance. A clear pass at 12 meters is certainly a step in the right direction here, and does not present a problem for her at this stage of the game. USA's Regina Jaquist now making her way into the course, and she's a first-time entrant in this tournament this season. Showing no signs of nerves as she makes easy work of 12 meters to force her Russian opponent back into the course at 11.25 meters. 3 passes in, and we are already at the 11.25 meter line. Alyssa takes on the challenge of this short line length first in this matchup. Bear in mind that the handle will come up short of the buoy width, which will magnify even the slightest error, such as that turn on number 4, leading to her being late on the approach to 5 and ultimately costing her the pass. 5 buoys the score on the 11.25 meter line for Alyssa Shevchenova, and a relatively easy target for the world champion and record holder Regina Jaquist. Not the hardest of targets for her to attain, but certainly not a time to be complacent either, as she executes some rock-solid turns and maintains consistent form throughout the course to run the pass and punch her ticket through to the final bracket. The person whom she will ski against will be determined in the next semi-final pairing, Manon Costard versus Clémentine Lucine. We join the action in this pairing at the 12-meter line length. Manon won the coin toss and elected to go first. Not always a wise decision to assume the role of the intimidator in this format, especially given the wealth of experience of her opponent. However, at this juncture, she has little to worry about as she eases her way through that pass. Manon's final round opponent from last season is making her way into the course in this semi-final bracket to extend her challenge through this pass and beyond. Much like last year, she has recorded scores into 10.75 meters in every round, and the technique shown here gives us every indication that Clémentine Lucine could well do the same here too. 11.25 meters is up next, with Manon taking on the challenge first. Here we will witness 2 contrasting technical approaches. Manon has great power behind the boat, but the main features of her skiing are her onside turns on 135 and her knee bend into her offside turns, all the while staying far enough ahead of the course to run this critical pass. Clémentine Lucine continuing to take everything that Manon has thrown at her up to this point. Clem's lack of comparative height makes getting to buoy's width difficult, but her lower center of gravity is a distinct advantage behind the boat, especially with that delay on 4. She doesn't hit the panic button though, and she continues to grind out that pass to force this pairing onto the 10.75 meter line. Here comes Manon Costard with the line on the incredibly difficult length of 10.75 meters. Her success on this pass is going to be determined by how well she hooks up off the first 2 buoys and how long she continues that rhythm for. She seems to have adapted well to the new ski that she jumped on this season, and she is on fire here. Successful at 10.75 meters. Great work from Manon, and she will continue onto a pass that only a handful of female competitors have ever attempted, the 10.25 meter line. Tall order for Clémentine Lucine here, needing to run this pass in order to continue this pairing. Gets a decent number 1, but just plain ran out of steam for number 2, which hands the win in the second semi-final bracket to Manon Costard. A happy wave to the crowd, and superb skiing from the French stalwart. Opportunities to run into 10.25 meters don't come around that often in women's competition, and hardly ever in a pro tournament head-to-head setting, so Manon Costard is going to grab onto it with both hands. The world record stands at 3.5, but the European record is half a buoy on this pass, a record she currently holds with that score. Good gate shot into number 1, gets the turn to the wake to score 1, and stretches hard to get more out of the second. No dice there, and the final score comes in at 1 buoy. Manon Costard has now pushed European women's slalom skiing to new heights with that record score of 1 buoy at 10.25 meters. She will no doubt be chomping at the bit and eager to take on Regina Jaquist in the women's slalom final. But before that, the men's semi-finalists take to the water next to see who comes out on top. More from the 2017 San Gervasio Pro-Am Championships right after this break, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the 2017 San Gervasio Pro-Am Championship from Italy, and now we go headlong into the men's semi-final brackets. First up, we see former world champion and Italy's remaining hope for a win in this competition, Thomas de Gasperi. Riding a ski that's wider in the tip than most conventional skis, he encounters little problem in running this 11.25 meter line and gets set up for the next pass of 10.75 meters. A quick look at the bracket shows that he's up against the current world champion in the form of Nate Smith. The winner of that pairing will face the victor of the other matchup, an intriguing duel between two highly aggressive slalomers, Thibaut Dayan and Jonathan Travers. Here we go then with Nate Smith, needing to run this 11.25 meter pass to continue the challenge against the home nation favorite. It's a pass that barely requires him to break even a bead of sweat for him to run, and he maintains great composure to clear the pass, thus seeing Thomas's 11.25 meter run and raising him to the next line length of 10.75 meters. Speaking of which, here comes Thomas now. 10.75 meters is a pass that demands a high level of focus and concentration, elements that this Trento native has in abundance. Using lateral weight shifts to shorten up his turns when he needs to, he clears the pass to throw down the gauntlet once again. Nate Smith is one of the most consistent slalom skiers at this level, but even he had some difficulty getting to this stage of the competition, needing to qualify out of the repechage round. A good gate shot at number 1, but he wheelies a little out of the turn. No problem though, as he exhibits superb line control and hardly gives up an inch of distance down course. You can count the amount of times that he misses this pass on one hand during the course of any given season, and he notches up yet another clean pass at 10.75 meters. Thomas back at 10.25 meters and needing a superb start here to maintain his challenge. No Italian has ever run this pass in a tournament, and he looks in great form here, but a delay on 4 leaves him short and inside 5. A great performance by Thomas, which he would be delighted with on most days, but he and almost everyone here knows that he has left the door for Nate Smith wide open to come crashing in. Here he comes now, needing a piece of 5 ball to advance to the final. A decent start, but he's made a rare mistake on his strong side turn at number 2, and he's now fighting to get the score that he needs. Gets to 4, looking for the piece that he needs, and just barely squeezing around to move on to the final, ahead of a valiant effort by Thomas de Gasperi. We're coming in hot to determine Nate's opponent in the final, and it's Jonathan Travers who has the honor of hitting the course first in the second semi-final pairing. The contrast in style and technique compared to the skiers in the previous matchup could not be more striking. However, it works wonders for the former US Masters Slalom champion, who has seen a resurgence in form this season and looks comfortable with this run at 11.25 meters. Thibaut Dayan approaching the course now to match the effort put in by his opponent. Another skier who isn't afraid to drop the hammer on his strong side turns, he continues to raise his stock in the world of top-level tournament slalom skiing and cleans this run to take this matchup to the 10.75 meter line. Manon Costard on the dock, readying herself for her appearance in the women's slalom final, but she will have to wait until this men's semi-final pairing has concluded. Jonathan Travers in the course now at 10.75 meters, and he looks smoother the shorter the rope gets, a result of some great off-season work. Staying ahead of the run from start to finish, he's now put the pressure back on the broad shoulders of Thibaut Dayon with that clear run at 10.75 meters. Nate Smith and Regina Jaquez at dockside right now, each focusing on their efforts in their respective finals, with Thibaut Dayon thundering towards the course at 10.75 meters. His aggressiveness seems to be matched only by his conditioning, barely missing a beat on this critical run. Looking absolutely stoked to nail down that run, we now go to the extremely short line length of 10.25 meters, once again in the semi-finals. JT back in now at 10.25 meters, looking for a great start here. But disaster on ball 2 as he doesn't get a clean hook up off the end of the turn and has to settle for 2 buoys at 10.25 meters. He's disappointed because he knows that the Frenchman is more than capable of bettering that mark. Thibaut in at 10.25 meters, but gets a horrible start on number 1, which leaves him well short of the mark for number 2. And on the outside, looking in for the men's slalom final round. Commiserations to Thibaut, but kudos to Jonathan, who has booked his berth in an all-USA final against Nate Smith. When we return, the women's slalom final with Regina Jaquez versus Manon Costard will be our featured action. Next on the 2017 San Gervasio Pro-Am Slalom Championship. Stay with us. Welcome back. After 6 pairings, a quarter and semi-final action, it's now down to the final rounds to determine the champions from this edition of the San Gervasio Pro-Am. The women take to the water first, with the European champion and record holder leading off in this pairing. There you see the paths that each took to make it this far, and the men's finalists who are patiently waiting for their opportunity to do battle. We join the action with Manon Costard in on the 12-meter line. She's certainly been making a name for herself in this event since snagging the surprise win in the 2011 European Championship in Norway, and now possesses a wealth of experience that helps steer her through passes like 12 meters with relative ease. Looking to return serve in this final is Regina Jaquez, who continues to build upon her already prolific list of victories in pro women's slalom. 12 meters is a pass that shouldn't cause her much in the way of concern, and she continues onto the 11.25 meter line. Dialing up the intensity in this pairing is Manon Costard with her attempt on the 11.25 meter line. The defending champion of this event rode on borrowed equipment last year, but this time around, she's completely in sync with her own ski and this course as well. 11.25 meters smoothly executed and leaving a clear-cut task for her opponent. While Jonathan and Nate continue to stay relaxed before their encounter, Regina Jaquez returns for another pass. This time, it's 11.25 meters. A little bit of a delay on number 1, but her ability to make up time in the course when she needs to has become her stock in trade, and she notches up another 11.25 meter pass to throw the challenge back to her French counterpart. Looking to run this 10.75 meter pass for the second time in as many rounds, Manon Costard gets a great hook up on number 1, but she pulls the dreaded wheelie on number 2. That leaves her barely able to make it round ball number 3, and that is all she wrote. 3 at 10.75 meters, and a door opened for Regina. For the win, she needs a piece of number 4. A great hook up on 1, a little back on 2, but she recovers excellently to stay on track for not only the winning score, but also the clear pass as well. Talk about winning in style. Regina Jaquist runs 10.75 meters and is now looking to fill up her coffers with some bonus cash. In this tournament, there is a bounty of €1,000 for any skier that gets within half a buoy of the world record. Regina's not passing this opportunity up on 10.25 meters, but fatigue finally taking its toll on her, and she has to settle for 1 buoy at 10.25 meters. The final bracket, and your champion, Regina Jaquist. The final action of the tournament will consist of the men's final. Will it be Jonathan or Nate who comes away with the win? Find out after this break when the 2017 San Gervasio Pro-Am Championship returns.
Standing there on the edge, ain't scared of what's ahead. Walking up like revenge. I was built for this time. Bleeding red like the sun, taking over everyone. Watch me as I overcome. I was built for this time. Keep the blood pumping. Keep the blood pumping. Keep the blood pumping. I was built for this time. Keep the blood pumping. You know I ain't stopping. Keep the blood pumping. I was built for this time.
Welcome back, and straight into the action for the men's slalom final. Jonathan Travers is the lead-off skier in this pairing, and we pick it up from the 11.25 meter line. Still maintaining his hallmark aggressiveness in the course as he makes cleaning this pass a breeze. And now he gives his opponent a target to chase. Aside from needing a qualifying score from the second round of this tournament, Nate's journey up to this stage has been relatively hassle-free. His ability to quickly traverse the course whilst looking effortless behind the boat still confounds elite slalom skiers around the world as he makes light work of this pass on his way to 10.75 meters. The Oklahoma, Florida native returns to the course, looking to become the only skier to run 10.75 meters in every round of this competition. Jonathan Travers takes some decent hits, but keeps on moving forward to skillfully run this difficult pass. Originally from the Hoosier state of Indiana, Nate Smith recently moved to Florida to be able to train year-round. It has certainly helped with his consistency in running these short line passes, and he now sends this matchup to the incredibly difficult pass of 10.25 meters. Jonathan Travers will be looking to go better than the score he produced to make it to this final on 10.25 meters. Holding some great angle once again off number 1, but he's delayed off number 2 for the second time and came up with a 2 buoy count. Will it be enough for the win, or will his luck finally run out? Nate Smith now looking to put this pairing away with a score of anything in excess of 2 buoys. He gets into good rhythm straight away and continues to show his class by staying ahead of the pass and running it to take the win here at San Gervasio. With the win safely in his back pocket, Nate Smith attempts the 9.75 meter pass. The only skier to record an average score on that pass in the world rankings list for the past 6 years, he gets around the first buoy, shuts it down, and skis for the 4 buoy count to underscore his successful defense of the San Gervasio Pro-Am Slalom Crown. And there is your final bracket, Nate Smith, the winner for the second consecutive year. This tournament has been brought to you by Barker, producers and distributors of quality marine equipment and accessories worldwide since 1966. Veronini, since 1970, makers of great coffee roasted and handpicked daily to customers across Italy and Europe. Jolly Ski, the hosts of the San Gervasio Pro-Am and host to one of the best water ski training facilities in the world. Malibu Boats, with the all-new redesigned Response TXI, the official towboats of the Malibu Open and the San Gervasio Pro-Am. Additional support from HO Syndicate Skis, Radar Skis, Aquaflyer Wetsuits, Reflex Water Skis, and Hotel El Villero in Pontefico. Special thanks go to the organizers, Fidele and Matteo Lezzeri, for their fine work, and the officiating crew led by Chief Judge Candido Mose. On the behalf of producer Vincent Stadelbaugh, this is Tony Lightfoot from the Waterski Broadcasting Company, thanking you for watching the 2017 San Gervasio Pro-Am. Until next time, it's ciao for now.